Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between ThorZaIN and SyDe. This game taking place here on Northern Isle, game 1 from Dreamhack, Europe, the open, I believe, earlier rounds. We'll see what is going to be going on in this particular 1v1, undead versus human, as the colors were all confusing, and now, yep, ThorZaIN spawning over here on the bottom left as the red human player. Meanwhile, over here to the top right, we have SyDe spawning as well, the blue undead. Undead versus human in a 1v1 matchup on Northern Isle. Northern Isle actually really starting to grow on me. Overlay is back. Nice. Yep, overlay is back. Thank Pad for getting all of that fixed up. Just a wonderful community in WarCraft 3 overall. And, well, with that wonderful, strong community being able to make add-ons into the game, that is absolutely great. Why? Well, first of all, the fact that players can make add-ons into this is because Blizzard had already set up and built in the necessary APIs, forward thinking enough to say, you know what, we should be able to do these in the future, and be able to add on top of it. Why they still haven't done so, build these quality of life tools that so many of us were hoping for, would have been absolutely great. I think if they had, instead of remaking the game into those new updated graphics, and only added all of the quality of life improvements, I don't know if there'd be, well, one, I don't know if they would have sold as many copies as they did, and secondly, I don't know if there would be as much of a public backlash about well, the quality of the game itself. I'm gonna go ahead and look at this here. Archmage is coming back into this game here. Gonna go ahead and clear out of this bottom creep camp. This is a relatively easy creep camp. 3-3-2, very fast. So it grew on me quickly. Northern Isle, best map. I don't know. I still have a very strong spot for Concealed Hill. Concealed Hill just seems to have so many great matchups. And just timing and all of those things just make for a really great game. All right, Footman trying to take down Acolytes here, and Acolytes are actually very well protected while mining. Normally, well, Acolytes before, they were very exposed, and because Acolytes, when they mine, they are stationary, it means that, well, melee units didn't have to chase them down, unlike, oh, was that going to be a 2-unit surround? No, it is not a 2-unit surround. Unlike, say, the peasants and the peons of the humans and the orc. That's one of the reasons why they actually upped the regeneration on those acolytes while they are on Blight, to help them. Even though they are stationary, they take about similar damage to as if they were walking back and forth now. The downside is, if you're trying to chase an acolyte while the acolyte is on Blight, it is nearly impossible for a single footman to take him down at all, as ThorZaIN going to get a footman caught out in open field. No. Apparently unable to execute a 12-unit surround by SyDe. SyDe now going to come down instead, and SyDe does have a pendant of energy alongside that Criplord, which should translate into a whole bunch of death. Coming back across here, double arcane towers trying to get added. We do have a couple of peasants here. They should be on auto repair. Why they aren't, I do not know. There you go, finally going into auto repair. Militia now trying to join in. ThorZaIN trying to set up this expansion, and will it get up and running? That is the question. A quick impale right there, stopping, well, the repairs on both, and that's all SyDe really needed, as the peasants and the beetles and this bug infestation taking down this expansion. For all you future homeowners out there, make sure you to check for bugs before you lay your foundation. You never know what is going to end up happening. All right, ThorZaIN getting a little bit of experience. Maybe actually get up to level 3 here. Criplord actually getting halfway to level 2. How much more damage is needed? Ghoul down to, well, 17 hit points. One more shot should do it right there. There it goes. Now level 3, but doesn't have enough mana to, well, finish it off. All right, going after another Ghoul again. Is that Ghoul going to get taken down? Yes, it will, but at the hands of SyDe. All right, making our way back off to the north here. SyDe is sitting, well, 2/3 of the way to level 3. Meanwhile, ThorZaIN was forced to hit the reset button on his expansion, while SyDe himself is now setting up an expansion of his own. Who would have thought it? If you told me 10 years ago in Warcraft 3, the meta would change so much that undead would set up expansions before humans. I would ask you to, well, really reconsider and watch some replays, figure out what type of game are you playing, because that's nowhere near where the meta is now. And not played competitively, unfortunately. The first version was better. And all right. Coming back down here, a couple of ghouls going to try and swarm here. We do have a scout tower and an arcane tower trying to be added. One peasant going to get taken down as well. The footman having a difficult time actually getting a surround on any of those units. Archmage coming back through as well. Does have those claws of attack +5, which really does help out as the militia are trying to get in front of the ghouls and able to do exactly that. All right, padding is going to be a little bit of an issue. This peasant down to 83 hit points will most likely get taken out here at the hands of a ghoul. The ghoul going to walk inside this base, and there is militia now coming back through. All right, a little bit of bonus armor, but taking a large amount of damage. ThorZaIN's ghoul or militia down to 14 hit points, and no, enough micro by ThorZaIN to get that kill. SyDe, sitting at level 2, will be getting the level 3 here momentarily. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Archmage making its way back off to the north with Talisman of Evasion. A little bit of a survivability item, but against the undead, well, Pure Up of Vitality and, well, and Strength just generally works out better. If your Archmage is getting a lot of auto attacks to enable invasion or evasion, that is already a problem in and of itself. Archmage now making its way through. We are taking the tier 2 Water Elemental now down. Water Elemental representing a lot of damage. Are we going to see perhaps a shutdown on that graveyard as well as the Archmage comes in for a couple of attacks? No one really going after that Archmage at all, as the Footman now going after Acolytes. Acolytes are going to get taken down pretty quickly. There goes one. Footman trying to fight back against some of these ghouls as we see a low hit point Footman here trying to back away. All right, Criplord now on the inside here. Is it going to get, well, more Acolytes getting taken down? SyDe is losing Acolytes, but at the same time, there is an expansion. No Necropolis here. So all of those Acolytes are actually going to be down for quite a while. Another ghoul taken out. There it goes as the Archmage drops a second Water Elemental only to see it get very quickly surrounded. Footman still trying to fight back here. Another Acolyte will be lost, and it is now essentially one base mining as we're looking at the Archmage. Perhaps going to try and put in pressure still. Nerubian Tower finally up. Necropolis nearly done taking the tier 2. Another Footman could get taken down as we are looking at more Footmen trying to rejoin in on the battle as well. Are we going to protect those 2 Footmen? That is the question here. This one unit could end up getting taken down at the hands of SyDe. Yes, it does. 1 Footman down and 2 Footmen down as ThorZaIN unable to complete the denial. As we look, SyDe is up and running at his expansion main base. Well, a former shadow of what it once was. The economy will be rebuilt here as a Water Elemental getting denied right there as well. Experience, a very important factor in this game right now as we're looking at, well, a couple of potential surrounds. Are we going to see another Beetle getting taken out? Yes, we are, but the Archmage still not yet at level 4. Beetle's trying to run away. Crypt Fiends are joining in on the battle too as a low hit point Beetle will be backing up. All right, Footman, what's going on there? Is it going to get padded in front? Beetles down to 75 hit points. Are you really chasing after summoned units? Yes, there is no timed life, but there is really no economic damage done by taking down a summoned unit. It will just come back better, stronger than ever. Mountain King should be coming up next as we are taking the tier 2. We are going into scout towers at the expansion, or excuse me, at the main base, and some scout towers at the expansion as well. As well, Crypt Fiends with that range damage. Well, no battery and headset. All right. All right, coming back around. Archmage getting ready to engage here. Dropping Water Elemental is going to try and fight their way through. There you go. Criplord now trying to back away. Lightning Shield onto a Footman right there as we're looking at a little bit of damage done. Beautifully played by that Criplord. But Lightning Shield, if you did not know, does not disrupt healing regeneration like that. That damage over time, that's interesting, right? Even though Lightning Shield, which actually does real damage, doesn't disrupt regeneration abilities, such as Healing Salve, Scrolls of Regeneration, and that Ritualistic Dagger from the Undead, an attack from an illusion does. Interesting to see ThorZaIN not going for his favorite Paladin first into Rifle and Griffins. Yeah, interesting to see this particular strategy going on as we see an Impale now go down here. All right, Archmage trying to back away. Footman now getting taken down as well. Double Water Elementals, but this is not a good fight. Well, is it a good fight for ThorZaIN? It really depends on who is the Null Wardens. Who are they attacking? And they are still attacking some of those some of the undead units. So ThorZaIN actually getting a little bit of a benefit right there. Death Knight getting very close to level 2. Cryptlords getting very close to level 4. And that is going to be a big deal here as ThorZaIN still trying to push on in. We are 10 minutes into this game. Mountain King should be coming up here momentarily. Water Mental being dropped down again, getting in a little bit of experience, but no, ThorZaIN getting denied once more. Level 3 on that Cryptlord. Level 2 Death Knight, Unholy Aura, always extremely important as we're going to be looking perhaps at a Footman. Footman getting taken out by those beetles. Death Coil saved, but a Mountain King Stormbolt stops any retreat as that Crypt Fiend gets taken out. All right, lines are pretty much, well, not established anywhere. 48 supply compared to 39. Army sizes are very similar. Death Knight should be coming back in from the north. No, it is just a Cryptlord by himself with True Shot Aura. As we going to be looking at perhaps any sort of Stormbolts? All right. Question on, yeah, Spellbreakers can in fact control magic, those carry-on beetles, but it becomes a timed life unit as opposed to a permanent unit, right? So far, though, SyDe has been denying a large amount of experience. The Archmage should be well much further on its way to level 4 than where it stands right now. Footmen do have Defend, and we're going to be looking at a Troll Warlord. Well, Death Coil just a little bit late, unable to steal that bit of experience as a Book of the Dead picked up by that Mountain King. All right, Footman doing his best to try and reflect back that damage with that Defend, but unable to, well, take the onslaught from all of the Ice Troll Berserkers and the Ice Trolls here, as we are now transitioning into Spellbreakers. Interesting choice by ThorZaIN to go into Spellbreakers at this stage, as we have seen a much more often go for Rifleman Paladin with Griffins. Now we are seeing a little bit more of an older school strategy, Spellbreakers. Still don't see any Priest as of yet, as we are looking at a tech to tier 3 and that Paladin getting added. All right. Or a human tri-hero going to be working together. Staff of Sanctuary, Orb of Fire, most likely on the docket for the upcoming battle, as flying machines will be used to try and take down any sort of destroyer action. There's that controlled magic carry-on beetle running on through right there, and that's easily going to get taken out as the Lich, nope, decides to leave it alone. No burrow on that beetle, though, as the units are now trying to make their way back. All right, so, Frost Nova straight up onto the Mountain King. Mountain King could be in trouble. There's a quick impale. Book of the Dead would actually be good to use right now, as we are looking at a little bit of healing. Paladin not anywhere out onto the battlefield, as we are looking at Stormbolt. There's another Thunderclap before it gets taken out. All right, Book of the Dead has to be used before SyDe gets, well, Destroyers, as we are looking at more damage adding in. Oh, there goes a final attack from a Spellbreaker, finishing off that Obsidian statue. A big loss there. Destroyer now getting webbed down, as the Destroyer is starting to eat some of those skeletal minions. All right, skeletal minions actually popping up out of the ground here. They do have time left, the Destroyers. And if they just devour magic, that's actually going to be interesting there, as the creeps themselves are providing a bit of experience or a bit of hit points and mana for that Destroyer. Not very many undead or creep units actually summon timed units like that, as the Death Knight sits just shy of level 3. Flying machines scouting overhead. We are looking at both players trying to see if you know, both sides are being honest. No third bases anywhere to be had, as we're going to be looking at perhaps expansions being cleared out. SyDe is in a great spot now. 64 supply, winning in the supply advantage. He was able to temporarily shut down that Mountain King, and he is now going after the larger, more powerful creep camp, which is going to drop better items as well. There goes some more Furbolgs, as the Lich sits at level 2, very close to level 3. Magnetar Reaver, well, at negative armor still, but finally going to get taken down here. Flying machines do scout this out. Lich is sitting at level 2. Dark Ritual, or is, nope, it's going to be Frost Armor first, as Tome of Intelligence and Warsong Battle Drums, 2 items that you should not be leaving behind, quickly picked up. All right. Lich now with plus 11 damage between the True Shot Aura and the War Drums. Unholy Aura also available, so faster movement speed, faster attack speed, and better range, or no, not faster attack speed, faster movement speed, better attack damage, and then better range attack damage for all of these units here. The Obsidian statue is actually dealing, what, 10 magic damage. That's pretty decent, as the Crypt Fiends are now pushing through here. All right. Paladin finally gets to level 2. Are we going to be getting the Scroll of Town Portal to try and save this expansion? All the guard towers in position causing problems as the Crypt Fiends, well, just getting healed up easily by these Obsidian statues. A big impale lining up a bunch of peasants as they were trying to make their way over, as ThorZaIN now in a bit of trouble. All right, a nice hit and run tactic there, as all of the units will be backing away after 1 or 2 flying machines were picked off. Expansion underway. A little bit of a dangerous proposition there. Archmage sitting just shy of level 5. We see Orb of Fire and Staff of Sanctuary right on that unit. No big question here. Mountain King is going to be just shy, or will still be shy of level 3. No, Archmage actually opting to back away, or is it going to get level 5? And is it going to go for level 3 Brilliance Aura? No, level 3 Water Elementals to deal with those destroyers. The destroyers dealing with level 3 water elementals a little bit more difficult. Yes, they do have devour magic. They do get additional hit points. They do get additional damage on those water elementals, but the water elementals end up having a little bit more hit points, allowing them to last around long enough to actually deal damage. SyDe's expansion is going to get shut down before it really gets up and running, as the knights and units have made their way over. All right, I don't see an acolyte anywhere in the amongst all of these buildings here, so SyDe should be able to just cancel and lose just a little bit of the gold that comes with canceling a building. All right, there it goes. As we're looking at the top left-hand side was also cleared out. Tome of Knowledge left behind, and now SyDe made clear or grab this expansion as well. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Mountain King just sitting shy of level 3 as well, and level 3 Thunderclap should be incredibly important. All right, Mountain King now finally sitting at level 3 here. Level 2 Thunderclap Paladin. Oops, yeah, no. Sitting shy, yeah. Sounds like some sort of drinking game trying to say that properly. All right, Paladin also with Ring of PG-13. Yes, I do try. There is a little bit of death, momentary slip-ups, not even wanting to say the word on accident, but just more of a tongue twister than anything else. SyDe sitting at 79 supply, going up against 73 ThorZaIN. We are looking at Spellbreakers and Knights with flying machines. Priest are also amongst all the units, as the Crypt Lord actually caught open field. This could be a problem. Going to end up losing a lot here. And while SyDe finally gets up that anti-magic cell, battling it out here. Death Coil onto that Crypt Lord, going to be able to keep him alive, but the Orb of Darkness, or sorry, not Orb of Darkness, the Orb of Fire preventing a lot of that healing, as we're looking at the Spellbreakers, well, running away from the Archmage, as the Archmage gets picked up there. All right, Archmage in trouble. I believe there was trying to be a Holy Light onto our Archmage, but instead it hit another unit as a Knight falls in the process. Coming back down to the south side here, a quick regeneration clarity potion on the Paladin to get more mana. Archmage does have a disease cloud. May accidentally spread that, as they are not practicing social distancing. Death Knight sitting at level 4, Lich sitting at level 3, Lich with plenty of mana. There's going to be large amount of nukes coming in on that front line, and SyDe having the advantage here, as the Mountain King going to perhaps try and get a Stormbolt off onto the Crypt Fiend. Are we going to see a follow-up Thunderclap? No, there's that follow-up Thunderclap right there. Holy Light saving that Mountain King still. Keeping that Mountain King topped off on hit points. Incredibly important, as another Crypt Fiend gets taken down, and ThorZaIN taking no chances with this Mountain King, as 3 Crypt Fiends quickly lost. Well played by ThorZaIN right there, as the Mountain King burns through all of his mana in pretty record time, getting in Stormbolts and Thunderclaps to get 3 quick kills. 78 supply compared to 80. New units need to be trained back up. Abominations, Banshees getting added in once more, as SyDe will be getting into, 80 supply here. Back off to the north, or the top left-hand side, northwest side of Northern Isle, we are looking at an expansion already well established, even though it isn't at full saturation yet. If SyDe is able to trade efficiently here, he's going to find himself in a great spot to deal with the Onslaught army, as he's already up and running with that third base. However, can he hold on to it as the Archmage may be setting his sights on there in just a moment? Meanwhile, coming back around, Spellbreakers, well, ghouls, what is this pack of ghouls doing out here? No real reason to be this far away from home, except perhaps to try and see if an expansion has been set up. There's Blight, there's one Nerubian Tower, there's a Necropolis. Archmage could drop an there's Inner Fire being used a little bit dangerous as the enemy does have Destroyers to devour up those very, very delicious buffs. Inner Fire now, well, online as we're looking at side going into high upkeep. ThorZaIN already there. And here we are, 87 supply compared to 86. Devour Magic coming back across. Destroyers having 140 mana. You have to be very careful dealing with Destroyers with mana, even if you have Flying Machines, as that splash damage does add up quickly. All right, continuing to fight its way through. Flying Machine's going to dive on in, going after that one Destroyer as quickly as possible. Destroyer looking to back away and going to be able to do exactly that as the Flying Machine's, well, getting into position to take it down. More Devour Magic coming back across as an Impale, well, lines up and or stuns the Mountain King temporarily. No, where's the Thunderclap? There's the Thunderclap trying to slow things down, even though the damage is reduced. All right, a beautiful Death Coil on the Abomination, trying to save once more, as the front line of Spellbreakers not going to be able to really hold the line against all of these Abominations. Disease Cloud and normal damage adds up very quickly. Obsidian Statues, however, running low on mana, as that is going to be a problem, as we are going to have reduced healing. Abominations with that anti-magic shell really staying alive still, as that Mountain King unable to get past that anti-magic shell. Death Knight finally using a Scroll of Town Portal to get away, and side down to 79 supply compared to 68 of ThorZaIN, but forced to retreat away from the expansion that he so desperately tried to set up to gain an advantage. Tome of Knowledge onto that Mountain King. Paladin gets up to level 3. Ring of Regeneration is what's keeping him alive, as well, Staff of Sanctuary really hasn't been that big of a playmaker in this matchup. I would have thought more Staff of Sanctuaries would have prevented more units from being able to escape easily, as we're looking at the Crypt Lord only getting an Impale off on the Archmage. All the Spellbreakers are immune. Destroyer trying to head back down to 210 hit points, able to stay alive, as we should be looking at a couple of webs here in just a moment. All right, Flying Machines, Flak Cannons taking down Destroyers. 3-3 upgraded Destroyers against 0-3 upgraded Flying Machines, as they are backing up again. Abomination's getting taken down, 75 supply compared to 71. Side still has a slight advantage here, as we're looking at the Lich perhaps getting up to level 4. What is that going to translate into? As a beautiful Impale across the entire back line there. All right, Staff of Sanctuary trying to save up some of those peasants. Paladin could be in trouble using that Divine Shield to try to get out of jail free, as unit after unit is getting taken out. 71 supply compared to 67. Expansion was not finished off. Side can easily transfer some units, some peasants, or excuse me, acolytes over there, as the main gold mines are nearly mined out. Human heroes working together, undead heroes working together, the stuns, the impales, the slows, the nukes, all of them having a profound impact as acolytes off to this location, and is looking to perhaps well, draw a line in the sand and fight with an economic advantage here. That Tomb of Relics represents healing pots for the Death Knight, mana potions for the Lich and that Crypt Lord, and all of which would translates to a direct benefit here on the battlefield. ThorZaIN's Spellbreakers are upgraded 2-3. Flying Machines still only upgraded 0-3, as well, the Destroyers are off in the back trying to hide away from those Flying Machines now. Battle is going to be absolutely key. Who has the larger army? Who's going to be able to set up in this next upcoming battle? Mountain King, does it have enough mana is the question as well. Mountain King is invisible and now going to set up a big Thunderclap, taking a large amount of damage as well. No Inner Fire, going to go ahead and try and go after all of those units, as the Flying Machine's going after those Destroyers. Mountain King trying to chase after all those units as well. Thunderclap very difficult to spot on top of anti-magic shell, as the Mountain King retreats back, even though it needs to be in that front line. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord does have a potion of lesser invulnerability if it is needed, as the Crypt Lord able to duck and dodge its way to that back line. Spellbreakers continuing to fight here, as the Flying Machine's going after the Destroyers. More Stormbolts go onto that Death Knight. Death Knight still temporarily stunned as he finally breaks free. Mountain King, where is that mountain? Where are those heroes trying to go here, as the Archmage continuing to fight its way through that front line? Archmage actually in the front line and not getting taken down. Mountain King could be in trouble. There's another Holy Light going after the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord finally uses that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, as this could be the death of the Mountain King. Mountain King down to 200 hit points, gets a Holy Light to try and save again. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? Archmage could be in trouble as well, down to 190. All of the human heroes are in trouble as the units are still trying to make their way through. Crypt Lord finally falls, and ThorZaIN gets the Crypt Lord, but at what cost? 87 supply compared to 56, as the units are starting to fall around. SyDe down to 261 hit points, and there is the GG from ThorZaIN. SyDe losing his level 5 Crypt Lord, but ThorZaIN losing the majority of his army right there, and it really came down to SyDe landing that clutch impale. Just realized my light is not on. Come on. All right. Landing that clutch impale. The impale not only on the Mountain King, but on the Paladin behind him, prevented or delayed a heal. And it really comes down to your cooldowns in a fight like that. When you're trying to maximize the healing and the healing from your Paladin, you want to make sure that you're landing Holy Lights on the heroes as you need, while also making sure your opponent's units are moving slower with Thunderclap, and that's what we really needed to see. ThorZaIN being behind on experience on his Mountain King just long enough to make a difference. It felt like if that Mountain King had 10, maybe 15 more experience, it would have had level 2 Stormbolt to start the fight as opposed to level 1. And that slight difference in Stormbolt power could have been enough to give ThorZaIN at least a little bit more of an edge in trying to fight its way back through. With that said, though, SyDe played a beautiful game, got to level 5 on his Death Knight, was able to land a lot of clutch death coils. Lich also using Frost Armor, and really the Banshee's anti-magic shell preventing the Crypt Fiends from being absolutely melted by that slowing Thunderclap. That was the main difference right there. We saw in that early, or in the mid game, that Thunderclap and those Stormbolts, what that Mountain King was able to do, forcing SyDe to use that Scroll of Town Portal. It felt like 3 Crypt Fiends just fell to the wayside in a moment's notice. But once Anti-Magic Shell was online, even though the Thunderclap was reducing the amount of damage, there was no easy targets to pick off. The Obsidian statues were doing their thing, keeping the overall health of the army alive and well. And then the Death Knight's burst heals was doing everything else there. Looks like ThorZaIN bit off more than he could chew in that last fight. It did, but he also knew that he needed to be in that fight. He couldn't allow SyDe to just start transferring acolytes over and set up that third base. It would have been about a 2-minute advantage in mining, and then at that point, SyDe can then bring the fight over to ThorZaIN before all of those home field advantages for ThorZaIN would have been set up. And SyDe would have been able to take it there with scrolls of healings, maybe scrolls of protection, more potions of invul, all of those things. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.